Since Jianxin's official showcase trailer for Wuthering Waves have been released and looking very cool and gorgeous, from the NPC characters to the scenery lighting details, and of course the main character herself, Jianxin, I decided to take a closer look at what she might have to offer as a unit, as well as some key things a lot of people might have missed. This video is just analyzing and speculating what I see, no leaks whatsoever, because we want to get on Kuro's good side, not their bad side. Also, I might have a personal bias towards Jianxin because of her design and the way she fights, so bear with me if I go a little bit too much here. Now, going into some things we should know about Jianxin. One, she is an arrow wind element user that specializes in countering and deflecting enemy strengths against them using certain forms of Tai Chi with the power of yin and yang in combat, covering both offense and defense. So we do have another wind user to add to the collection of fast and swift light movement characters like Yang Yang, Alto, and Jinyan. Number 2, as you can see from the trailer alone, she has gauntlets for her weapon to perform hand-to-hand combat, so it's pretty similar to Yanwu's and his close-up fighting style in Closed Beta 1, for example. This let players feel the impact from each hit without the use of a sword or even guns, which a lot of people might actually appreciate this playstyle a little bit more, being so up close and personal against enemies, especially bosses in the future. Now, speaking of Yanwu, shout out to my friend Michuzak for this information, because without him I wouldn't even think about this stuff. But during Jianxin's trailer, a cat appears, and the exact same cat also appears during Yanwu's standby pose once you go idle long enough. Overall though, this might just be a coincidence, or we might have some lore behind the scenes between these two, not just from the same weapon types, as one seems to be a boxer and the other one a martial arts master, but also for the people that don't know, during the tea web event when you invite Jianxin, she also mentions Yanwu always tries this tea all the time at his boxing gym. So we already know that they have encounters with each other, since she says all the time in the sentence, and this also correlates with her master also liking tea. So we might see some correlation here, but we have to see if they are connected when the game actually released to find out more. If they are connected, it'll explain why they always look after this cat even though it's completely troubled. But let me know your thoughts. This is just a theory after all. Well, on to Jianxin's combat. During the trailer, we see Jianxin's in-game performance. Well, if you could distinguish the difference between in-game animations and cool cinematics, that is. But I got you covered. These are just speculations till CBT2 on the 19th for those who got invited, which should be very soon since we can't apply anymore during the time of this recording anyway. Now, first up, going over her unique parry. As said in dev interviews regarding a unique playstyle, we can see Jianxin utilizing her unique parry on the bear with the same exact fluid movements as we see during the dev teaser that we got a few weeks ago. I will have to guess that this is a skill use, since we do have a split window before it can activate, and during CBT we didn't really have that many controller mappings to work out with this, but this is just my guess. Unless it's like Tai Chi with her hold attack counter mechanics, but it also drains stamina. Overall, this is very cool to have as an early character in Wuthering Waves that has another way to counter enemies besides the normal parrying we have now. This also reminds me of both Alpha and Noctis' personal parry mechanics in PGR with simple inputs and timing to dish out some really cool stuff to feel immense in the fight. Now, you already know, like every character, Jianxin's 5 combo setup is pretty nice and easy to piece together from the trailer, and you can actually go off from her character that her plunge attacks also looks very pretty, giving the yin and yang aura each time she hits the ground. Now, onto her hold attack. Every character has a unique attack depending on their style. Jianxin seems to be a crowd control type that groups up enemies while dealing damage in the process. You can see while she is gathering her energy, not only does she glows, showing a form of hyper body armor while doing so, but the enemies are constantly getting hit in the process, and once you release the hold, she makes an explosive impact at the end. I wouldn't be surprised if this does take a lot of your stamina like other characters I know of. Tai Chi and her counter takes a toll of stamina greatly, but it's a fair trade for damage as a prime example. Now, lastly, Jianxin's ultimate, or liberation as Wuthering Waves call it in this game, is also a form of crowd control, and from the looks of it, as the yin and yang slowly forms, the heavier the enemies feel. As you can see, they're getting pulled in and they can't move until Jianxin clenches her fist and explodes the symbol on impact. This will be good for grouping mobs in open world, but how will this actually fare against bosses, I wonder? But that's all for this breakdown. Wuthering Waves has been doing an excellent job with these trailers, and I'm glad to see that Jianxin was done justice, not just from my personal bias, but she's been doing justice with being our first 5-star debut character. along with some very good voice actors for both her English and JP VAs, for those that are wondering. Thanks to Narushino for letting me know about this info. I can't wait to see other characters and break down their trailers once they arrive, but if you enjoy content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.